Welcome, everybody, to the Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast, episode number 5.
Episode 5. So we back in here, and I appreciate all y'all listening.
Indeed.
Everybody who goes to subscribe to the app. Remember, you could get that app at iTunes or Stitcher.
If you got also on Stitcher.
Yeah, if you got a bum ass Android, go to Stitcher, and then you could get the podcast as well. Let them know who we got in the building tonight, Leo.
Yeah, it's your boy Leo Bishop, of course. You know, it's your boy Sleep the Fraternity. We also got the boy Chris Caine up in the building.
Back again.
You know what I mean? We also have the illustrious producer in the building.
Oh, quit. You're going to make me blush, man.
That's the kid, Jerry Saylor.
It's the resident trisexual of the bunch.
Word.
This episode is going to be called Parental Control.
Parental Control. All right, so what is parental control about? I need all of my, all of my people who have children, which is most of us over the age of, these days, 13. So everybody who has kids, you might want to listen in on this show and, even tag some of your friends to get them listening. So we're really about to get into some things. Chris Caine. What were you thinking about this whole parental control thing? You know, I kind of want you to start this out. What you thinking about it?
Well, for me, I guess the whole concept would be pretty much saying who's really the better parent between men and women.
The better parent between men and women.
Yes.
Now, by conventional wisdom, it's always thought that women are, because say you got a kid right now and you and your woman break up. Say the baby's 3 months old or whatever age. Y'all break up. The woman just automatically gets the child. Why does the woman automatically get
Because
the child?
she carried the kid for 9 months, so that means that she's automatically the better parent.
Oh, okay.
Which pretty much is why we are saying parental control, because there's a lot of women out here who aren't better parents than men. And I feel like the reason why that is because, for one, like I said, because they carry the kid for 9 months, but we're not even given a chance or the opportunity to do so. They just assume that as men, we can't be the better parent.
So physiologically, because women can have children and men can't have children, it's not like we ever went into some type of fucking agreement where it's like, all right, hey, between us, which one of us gonna carry the baby? It don't work like that.
Right.
Men can't have babies, so women got to have them. But for that reason, God set that shit up. For that reason, women automatically get the child when we break up. Nothing else is taken into consideration. They don't look at who makes the most money.
Never.
Who has, the most stable environment, who has the better
common sense.
Most common sense, and who has, better school district, better health insurance.
Right.
Nothing else is taken into consideration other than whose womb.
Exactly.
Men don't have one. That type of thing.
At the same time, don't you think like a little bit played a part that they believe, or we as humans believe, that women are better nurturers than men are?
That's not true.
Yeah, well, I think that could be true as far as nurturing for the first 6 months or so of a life. And a lot of these bitches ain't even they not even doing breastfeeding. It's Similac right out the pussy.
And a lot of them ain't
right away.
A lot of them ain't nurturing in general. I'm not saying all women. Obviously, we're not generalizing all women. But we're just talking about, I hate to say a vast majority, but from our experience, I know from my experience, from what I've seen, it's like a lot of women, the nurturing aspect does not apply.
Right.
Because if you were so nurturing, maybe you wouldn't even be a single woman. That's probably fucked up to say, but hey, it's shit I shouldn't say. So,
exactly.
I'm not out here trying to bash women, or this isn't even coming from a personal perspective. I'm just saying in general, I just think it's a fucked up double standard, because we don't even get a shot out the gate. It's supposed to be a jointed thing, but it's not.
Well, what do you think, Leo? I want to ask you a question. What do you think makes more sense? Okay, so a man and a woman, they break up, right? And there's a kid involved. So instead of, say, the man getting the child, because, say he's more financially stable and he wants to. Not saying that all men want to. It's a lot of fucking deadbeat dudes out there. But a lot of the guys who want to, they can take the child and they can care for the child and not have to run to the state and get any help, not have to run down and ask for child support because they can't take care of the child. Instead of giving the child to the man, then the woman goes and does all that. She gets the child. She can't take care of the child. So now she needs child support. Now she needs food stamps. Now she needs Section 8. And then she needs Medicaid. Don't you think just on the American economy together that even having that option for the parent that can actually handle it, with these different things, that would even be better for the economy and not having a whole lot of these women running down, getting all these different benefits, which is really just a trap keeping you within the system the whole time. What do you think about that point of view?
Man, that's a loaded question.
That's what I do.
Actually,
That's what I do.
I think that I don't know. It's kind of situational for real. It's like
Okay.
It's like many questions in one. So first, I would say that I do think that they don't really care when it comes to the economy and none of that, first of all, because obviously if they did, then things would be truly based on the individual situation, and it don't really seem like that's the case. They act like it is because each case is individual, but
Right.
but based on stats and what we all know to be true, it just seemed like it's just a default position to naturally to give the kid to the mother, excuse me. I think that also that we probably got to this point because of like women's rights. When women got their rights, along the same time
Curse
as
the day.
civil rights,
I'm just joking.
that they got shamed because sometimes you can shame people into certain positions. I think that women shamed the government or whatever into making the child support system and things of that nature, and some women realized that it benefited them, and the system realized like, well, fuck it, we just give these chicks money, we ain't got to worry about the kids. It's like, all right, we wash our hands with it, we done. Money ain't real, you know what I'm saying? This debt ain't real, so they just writing this shit off on taxes, giving all these women money. They don't really give a fuck.
Right.
I think that society truly wants the man and the woman in the household to be divided.
Right.
I think that this shit was done purposely.
See, now you're getting deep now. You're getting deep. I know where you're going because I know how the nigga Leo Bishop is. You're getting deep in society. I know where you're going. Well, check this out. And I mean, that was great what you said because I didn't look at it from that point of view.
Right.
But we, a friend on social media said on this topic, unfortunately, unless they're married, the woman has all rights to the child if you want to keep the courts
Right.
out of it. And listen, I
That's
understand.
not true.
No, but
Hold on.
listen. I understand what she's saying. The woman has all rights. I get it, and that's cool. But don't come to me for 50% of the money
Right.
when you can't make the bills, all right?
And also-
so when it comes to the money part and you need money for food and you need all of this shit, don't come to me talking about it's 50-50
Right.
if you feel like you have all rights to the child. You can't have
also,
it both ways.
Also, though, I mean, yeah, by law, a woman has all right, but morally, like if you're a woman and you got a great guy who's a great father,
Right.
and y'all just don't make it, y'all just don't make it together. So now you're gonna go by the law system, or you're gonna go by who's a great father. So you're gonna cheat your kid on a great father if he can do things you can't do, or you gonna just say, well, the law says I automatically get him. Yeah, the law says that, but you know that he could be a better father than you are a mom. And I feel like it's an ego thing for women. Like I mean, women don't carry a lot of egos, but when it comes to their kids, women automatically assume they're the better parent.
Yeah.
Right, and that's horrible because. Honestly, a lot of women don't understand. If men were in the same position as them, men would not be putting women on child support. They would not be keeping kids away from them, or they wouldn't. We don't go off of spite. We can remove emotions in our relationship with our children from our relationship with the person we had the children with.
Absolutely. Most of the dudes that I know that have custody of their children, actually every dude that I know that have custody of their kids, the woman does
They
not
don't get
pay
child support. Right. Because you just
He's
don't
not
do
even
that.
looking for it.
I have shared parenting of my own kids, and I've offered my kids' mom plenty of times. I'll take them off of your hands
Just
for
so
however
you-
long
right.
you want, and
Just
I'll
so
give them
you
right
will
back
shut
to
up.
you. If you want to, go and finish up college
Right.
and make it easier for yourself, I'll sign paperwork saying no child support, no nothing.
Right.
It ain't a lot of women that'll do that, and there are some women. I know I have some
Right,
women.
it's-
I have some women on my
It's a
social
few.
media,
Right,
and
again.
they don't go chasing after child support and shit like that. But I feel like something that the courts need to do is, if either party goes down there asking for child support, the
Financial.
courts need to not just give it
They
to
need to
them.
do a
What they need to
background
do
check.
exactly,
A
they need to do a
financial
background
background,
check and say,
everything.
okay, so what you're saying is, without the other parent's finances, that you can't take care of this child. That's what you're telling us. So because you're telling us that, we need to look over and see what that other parent can offer before we start taking money out of their check. Maybe they can take care of the child while you get your life together
I
and
agree.
you get your funds up and go to school or whatever, before we just start snatching $500 a month out of somebody's account because you're saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
Us just supplementing your income with half of his, that's not going to make you
Sometimes
better.
it's more than half.
Right.
Yeah,
that's just a
true.
supplement for your income.
And
that
then,
don't even help the kid.
But then in that same breath, then once you're put on the system,
Right.
and then as a man, you can't even live your regular life. And then when you say, you don't mean to make the kid suffer because that's not your intent.
Right.
But then you turn around and you're like, okay, well, there's the woman's still asking for stuff. And then the first thing they want to do is call you a deadbeat. Women don't even understand what a deadbeat is. A deadbeat is someone who wants nothing to do
Right.
with their
Zero,
child.
no try,
like child
no
support
worry,
and not wanting to deal with a woman is different from the child. So sometimes
absolutely.
the kid is going to take a hit because when a father is really dedicated to his kid, you know what I'm saying, he'll do the world for him. You know, he's not going to turn his back. And the irony is the guys that are deadbeats, they're never on child support. Women just let them off easy because they can't do nothing to
That
them.
is the irony.
Like,
the dudes running around out here with 6 or 7 kids, they're never on child support because the
that's
women
true.
know they ain't gonna do shit
That's
no
true.
way. It's always the good dudes who
Yeah.
get a little bit of education and who has a decent job. These are the
always
dudes
that.
that
Yeah,
get
they just-
destroyed.
They do it out of spite, and a lot of times women don't want to give up custody of the kid only because they worried about perception. Now all these other people gonna look at
Right.
it like I'm not a good person because I don't have my kids. It's like people so brainwashed to just look at it in this way. Some women think naturally, okay, as soon as we break up, I gotta go put this dude on child support
Wow.
just because we not
Right.
people raised like that.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
if
Because
you-
they saw their mom
see
do it. They
so
saw their
many
aunts
different
do it. They saw their
women,
cousins
they
do it.
friends,
Right.
Every
And the
woman
irony-
got at least
right.
2 friends that have men on child support that probably shouldn't.
For no reason. And the irony is women don't look at it as like we're a team when it comes to this child. So if you can't do it, I pick up where you can't. That don't mean you make me suffer and try to tear my life down because I can't do
You
nothing.
know what's worse than that? You can't make a mistake. So now let's say if you run into a stretch where you can't get employment. We
Right.
know times is hard out here. It's a lot of people that try to get jobs that can't get jobs, especially some in their field. Let's say you have a specialized craft or
Right.
whatnot and you have to work in this one field. And if you used to making a certain amount of money. If you got to go down to Wendy's or Kroger's or something to fucking push carts or whatever. No disrespect to those who do, but if you coming from making, $60,000 a year to making $32,000 a year,
You on child
that's a big
support.
difference,
Yeah, you're gonna
you
get
know?
destroyed.
And then what if you
Can't do it.
What if you can't get a job? Then you lose your license. Then
Exactly.
you go to jail.
And
Like,
then,
listen,
then what you doing for the kids?
listen,
and
under-
then what you doing
and
for
the
the
money
same
still
mom who
adds
trying to
up.
stroke you for the money?
Under-
She ain't getting the money.
Under no circumstances, regardless of what me and my children's mom go through, I would never want to see her fucked up to the point
Exactly.
where she getting felonies because she can't pay child support.
Right.
It's just not that serious. I mean, when I set out to have children, I always knew that there was a huge chance I would have to take care of these kids by myself. Anything could happen. She could fuck up in life. She could die. Anything could happen. I never had kids, relying on the other parent. It's
Exactly.
awesome if they can help and that they do their side. But if they can't do it, then I made sure that I had the education and I had the careers that would, allow me to still take care of these kids. And piggybacking off of what you said, Leo, a lot of times women won't give up custody, not even sometimes because of spite, but because of the benefits they'll lose.
Of course.
If your whole life is based around the benefits that you have on this kid, you got Section 8 because of those kids. You got food stamps because of those
Healthcare.
kids. You got health care because
Not
of those
to
kids.
mention,
You
at the
lose those
beginning of the
kids,
year,
you lose
income tax check.
everything.
Ooh, that earned
Right.
income
Yeah,
credit.
That income
exactly.
credit,
You lose everything if
Right.
you lose the kid. So a lot of these women don't even want the goddamn kid. They don't even like it. They have the kid at their grandparents' house all fucking week because they
Exactly.
don't want the kid, but they need that house. They need
That's-
that $600 worth of food stamps. They need that Medicaid.
it's
So,
like-
they won't.
And that's
let the
why I
kid
say
go.
deadbeat moms. It's a lot of deadbeat moms out there. Just because you got your child don't mean you ain't a deadbeat.
Right,
it's,
right, right.
it's like, and they'll look at us and they'll say, "Well, you only get them this amount of time." I'm only getting what I'm allowed to get.
Exactly.
And
Give
it's
me
a lot
more
of guys.
time.
It's a lot of women who say that this guys ain't want to spend time. It's a lot of guys who want more time, but a woman won't give it to them because it's competition. And they hear like, "Oh, well, if I give him too much time, my kid's gonna know, or I know he a better parent." And like you said, Leo, they feel like they look shamed upon. But you're not shamed upon for actually giving them to what would be right now the better parent. Maybe you need some time to really grow and learn yourself before, you know what I'm saying? Because guys, again, it's less emotion with us. We know we got a job to do. Our job is to take care of this kid. We gonna do it. Some women ain't ready to be parents and they feel like they have to do it. And that's why I say it comes off deadbeat sometimes in some of the actions.
I mean,
that they do.
like you could see it in. I'm gonna let you jump in here, Leo. I just want to say real quick, and you could see it. I've seen, growing up in, more urban areas throughout my life. You can see it like a mother will tell her daughter the second that she breaks up with her boyfriend, you better go put him on child
Right.
support. Like, why? Why is that the first thing that you want to go
Right.
run and do? You're not even going to give him a chance
Right.
to
be a
try to
father.
help
Right.
out. You instantly, you want to go run and put him on child support, or a mother tell her daughter, you better go down there and get you some food stamps.
Exactly.
Because she been on food stamps her whole
Exactly.
goddamn life. She been on Section 8 her whole life. So, you know, she pretty much hyping her daughter up to do the same thing, not knowing that she's really crippling her daughter's
Sabotaging
future.
her
Or the
relationship,
child.
her
Or the
relationship.
child.
Right, exactly.
Also
All of it.
sabotaging the current relationship that the girl may have with the current boyfriend.
Exactly.
Like, that's worse to me.
Yeah.
Like, no argument happened at all. No spike, no anger.
Yeah.
Right,
You
we just
still
ended
doing
it.
Like,
Right.
God,
Exactly.
No, I'm saying, like, it's people that are still currently, like, in happy relationships, never had a breakup. Like,
I
a
know
lady,
dudes on
like,
child support
I
who
know that-
still live with their woman.
I know the same
support.
exact scenario you just said. Like, a woman told her daughter. I know somebody that did that same exact thing. The
Right.
daughter was still in a happy relationship with the boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like, damn, if you're gonna be skept like that, at least wait until they break
Exactly.
up. They
Right,
still
right.
happy.
Or and even then, even if y'all leave on skep terms, give him an opportunity to be a father. Separate the relationship as you and him to relationship with him and his
No,
child.
when women get angry at times,
It's
it's
emotions,
just all
man. It's
about.
always
It's
about
not
that.
even. They don't even want you to see the kid. It ain't even about the money. That's how you know it's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even about what's right, because what's right would actually being able for the kid to see their father or
Yes.
the mother, even if it was the other way around.
Right.
It's just don't be fucking up children's lives and shit.
Well, I
over
mean, that's why I say, like,
personal
if
feelings.
if shoe was on the other foot, I can guarantee you, there's a small percentage of men who would take women down to the courts and put them on child support.
Well, because for men, it's a pride thing. You know, women don't.
It's like
they,
the opposite
Yeah,
angle with them.
women don't have that sort of pride.
Do you think
hold
it's
on,
pride?
Hold on, not that women aren't prideful people, but their pride lies in other places.
Mm-hmm.
For men, a pride thing is the money thing, having to beg for money, having to ask somebody for money. Men just
Status.
exactly status thing. Men will do anything to not go down to the
Right.
to the county and ask for something.
Right.
Women, on the other hand, they are pushed into that. Like,
Well,
hey,
but-
girl, you better not let him get off. You see that
Right.
car he driving
You
around?
see that?
But see, that's
You
why
stupid.
that's why
Exactly.
kind
Right.
of
They'll shame each other if they don't go do
But
it.
I kind of disagree. I think sometimes, a lot of times, it's spite because it's women
Yeah,
out here who
sometimes
got.
I agree.
I feel like it's women out here who have great jobs and they work and they still put men on child support
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to see
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And I just don't think a lot of men possess that. Hey, well, I don't want to see her win. I want to see her down in the dumps,
Right.
no matter what. And I don't think guys do that. You know what I mean? If you do find a guy like that, obviously there's something wrong
Listen,
with him.
I know dudes that hate the system so much that they don't even want to go down there and fight with the system.
Exactly.
Because
They
it's
just like
already,
whatever.
It's already
Yeah.
rigged.
I mean, you
It's
can't
like,
do nothing.
know,
I mean, any guy who's been on it and has gone down to the system, they know it's a lost cause. You can be the greatest of greatest guys. You're just another number.
she gotta be
It doesn't
She
matter.
got to be like a grade A, like heroin addict, meth addict.
And even
crackhead.
still, you're not getting the kid. They're gonna have to go through a rehab process, and they can get the kid back.
True.
It's like, look,
It's
like,
very
look,
true,
listen.
very
It's
true.
this fucked up that a woman can literally be in a relationship with you. Y'all break up. She could go down there the next day, put you on child support. Child support do not talk to you
No, there's
first.
no questions.
They don't get your side of the story.
They don't
They don't
care.
find out. They just instantly put you on a default amount
Right.
that you have to pay. Like, you just get a letter in the mail.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? What happened here? I didn't even know
Right,
what was
exactly.
going on.
Right, I was
Next thing
just-
you know, you owe $400 a month, and you
Right.
like, what the fuck is going
And
on
then
here?
they turn
They
around.
even hit you up
Right.
first before they start the money part. Like, damn, I'm already fucking
Right.
$2,000 in the hole, and,
then,
I didn't even know none of this
Then-
shit was
then-
going on.
Then you fast forward and you talk to women, and women will say, "Well, you just sound bitter," or "You should have watched who you laid down with," or "That's your job."
Nah.
Okay, it's easy to say that, but if it was you and
Right.
somebody did that to you,
Right.
you wouldn't be singing that same
You can't
tune.
predict like how bad somebody's gonna react to things. You can't predict the future, no matter how
Right.
Mm-hmm.
it happens. Who are you? And you're not a fucking Merlin
Right.
or some wizard and shit. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna look into the crystal ball and see, okay, when we break up, it's sad that. What's the logic next? Should
Right.
all men assume when they break up with a woman that they, especially if it's his fault, like
Right.
if she cheat on you and leave you dirty and still put you
It
on
still
child
happens.
support,
It happens. I mean,
Yeah.
it comes. That's what it comes down to. Pretty much, like I said, it's a competition. It's spiteful a lot of times. And I mean, again, this isn't even from personal experiences per se so much. It's just in general knowing how it goes. I mean, myself, yeah. I mean, I am a good dad, and I mean, I am on the system, but it doesn't stop me from doing my job. But the irony is, a lot of women don't understand the guys that are on child support, the guys who aren't getting to be full-time fathers. they're the good guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's the deadbeat
Like
cats don't care. They didn't care from jump.
Your child out of their other half, out of another good parent. And what a lot of women will say is, and I can even agree to some extent. A lot of women will say, "Well, I have the child in my home. You need to help me pay for that."
No.
Hold up, but if we're being fair about that,
Exactly.
you're a grown ass woman.
Exactly.
You got to pay for a home anyway.
Exactly.
So let's be fair about it. What would be fair is, okay, say you live in a $650 apartment, right? It's a 2-bedroom. All right, that apartment would have been $550 if you would have got a 1-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll say the child's room is an extra $100.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, half of that child is yours.
You making
so
too
you
much
need
sense.
So you need to pay $50 for his room, and I'll pay the other $50 for his room. Why am I paying you $500 a month?
And that's
Hold
even
on,
that
hold on.
you're being even more
Listen.
fair than with most people, because you're a human being. You're grown up and I'm a grown up. You want equality. Everything's equal until it's you. Because we can't come to no woman and say, hey, can you split half of the rent for the kid? No,
I can't be like,
it's
hey,
your
so
job and it's her job.
So for the 2 or 3 days a week that they come to my house, I'm gonna need a little bit on the electricity. I'm gonna need a little bit on the food because I have them for 2.
No.
Exactly.
What they gonna hit you with is you a grown man.
Exactly.
You're a grown, but you
Exactly.
can't. But if you say you're a grown woman to a woman, then it's well, you don't take him to school. You don't do. You don't give me an opportunity.
Yeah, give me the opportunity.
Because I can do it, and you know what else I can do? I can do it without complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't pretend that the child is such a burden to you that you can't afford to you pay for the room in your house when you're the residential parent. Instead of whining and bitching about it, how about you be a responsible adult and come to the father and say, can you do it? Now, give him the opportunity to be the residential parent. While you get your life together, you go to college, make more money, and if you guys have a decent relationship, then y'all could just go back and forth. You know, put the kid back in that household. They be like, no, the kid needs stability. While you running 4 and 5 different niggas in and out the house and shit.
You preaching right now, man.
The problem is like that. The whole foundation of like men and women, that shit didn't change, man. It's like,
you're right.
So women want to be men and they want to treat us like they kids. So like when you try to, say what's right and tell a woman, your point of view or whatnot on what you feel, how parenting should work and things of that nature, it's almost super insulting to them. You shouldn't even give. It's damn near insulting to give a woman parental
because
advice,
of what?
period.
Because they carried a child for 9 months.
Yes.
Like we can control that God made you a woman and you are a carrier. But guess what? I've been carrying it in my sack my whole life. Okay, I know it's not a living, breathing thing at that point, but it's in me. So you need me more than I need you. You're the carrier. You're carrying it. And I mean, we supposed to be equal in it. They say it's equal. It's not equal until they need something. It's equal when they need something.
Yeah, when they need money.
Other than that, you ain't shit.
When they can't pay their bills and then that's when it's equal. It's like we both laid down and made this baby 50-50.
Right.
But it seemed like only financially that's when it's taken into consideration.
Right.
Because what I hear from you is that you're having issues paying for your life. That's what you're telling me, that you can't afford your life.
Exactly.
So why don't you give me the opportunity to take that burden off of you? Let me have the child for this time. You get the child on the weekends or whatever the setup is while you work on that. But they won't do it because then
the benefits.
They're worried about what their parents are going to say, what their friends are going to say. Like, oh, you couldn't hack it, so you had to give the baby to the father. You worried about everything else other than the well-being of your child.
And
so then when your child grew up with all of these issues, you going to tell everybody, well, it's because it was because his dad wasn't in his life enough.
Right. Exactly. When the whole time he's been there, or like you said, it goes back to, okay, well, I need these benefits, or I need an easier way to get. Men don't have that easier route. We've never had it. We wouldn't even use it if it was given. We have to be pretty much living in the car before we gonna sit there and say, I'm gonna go down here and mess up somebody else's life, because it does mess up everybody's life. And ultimately, I know it sounds like an after school special, the only person who's really getting hurt is the child. And that's why these kids grow up into these situations where they are how they are. You know what I'm saying? And this cycle don't break no time. So.
And keep in mind, everybody, we're talking about men who actually are a part of their kids' life, who want to be a part of their kids' life. We're not talking about the deadbeat fathers who, let's be honest, most of y'all knew they wasn't going to be there for the kid anyway. When you got pregnant with the child, you were just hoping that having the child would keep them around. We're not talking about those dudes who just run around having kids just to be getting their stats up. We're talking about actual men who want to be in a child's life. Like, that's like the worst thing you could do is keep a man out of his child's life when he's fighting to be in his child's life, just because you may get benefits or different things from it, in that way. What do you think about it, Leo?
Yeah, man, shit is just sad, man. It's very, very sad. I think that the shit just need an overhaul. Fuck it. We just need a new child support system.
What do you think?
New legislation.
If you could put together a quick fix. Quick fix. What would you do to fix the child support system?
I think that every case should I think they need to have a new scale on what they judge. Like you said earlier, it should be like school district, how much the parents make, just the mental stability of each parent. They should actually do like a psych eval or something like that, because people be crazy as fuck.
Yeah, before money even gets brought into it.
Let's consider all factors, just in general, just to that's the only way to truly determine.
I think it'd be even as simple as that. I think if you just do a
job,
job,
I need references.
Right, I think if you could do a job, you say you need references. I feel like if you could make it as simple as look at job history, living environments, and I mean just
school systems,
and then
health
even
insurance.
and then even after that, after you've picked the parent who you want it to be, do every 6 months to a year surprise visits, right? Or surprise visit, and just to make sure everything's on the up and up. And then it should even also be the options of switching it up. I think it should be a mandatory switch up if both parents are involved and agree to this. I'm not saying you got to force it on somebody. If somebody don't want to be, if a father doesn't want to be in a child's life, okay, then automatically it should go to the woman, because but if you can get two parents that agree, and you know what I'm saying, instead of just hitting a guy with random, hey, okay, well, this your financial situation, that's all you need to take care of, and nothing else matters, then, I mean, if you can get two that can agree, I think you can do a financial and assessment, and most parents won't disagree with switching it up, because a lot of times, you know how many times women put a guy on child support, just like you were saying earlier, their relationship ain't even over, or they just had a bad breakup, and then they end up wanting to get back together.
Right.
Now look what we doing. Now you're running back to the system, taking him off.
That's going to cause further arguments, because that shit going to come up. Obviously the man gonna feel some type of way about that, even if he was willing enough to put that to the side.
Right.
That's still gonna be bothering. It's disrespectful.
It really is.
How you father the year 1 week and then 2 weeks later,
second you get mad, I ain't shit.
Scum of the
You're
earth.
deadbeat.
Well,
it don't work that way.
Let me ask y'all this question: what do you think about this? And somebody alluded to it on my social media. All right, as a man, say when you're junior high school, and you're thinking about being a man, and when you graduate high school, what do you got to do in order to have your own place, in order to survive in the world, not under your parents' roof again? Now, as a man, I'm thinking like, all right, I got to go to college, I got to get a job, I got to get a good job to support my habits and support any future children and things like that. And so we're forced into that. Men are forced into that life.
Exactly.
But do you know an option that women can have? An option that a woman can have if she wants to be lazy, or if she doesn't want to do shit, or if she don't want to go to school and get an education, or if she don't want to work hard at her career,
piggyback.
she could just have a kid.
Right.
Literally.
Or
she could just, a kid.
That's it.
A kid gives you so many benefits just for the sake that you carry the baby.
Yeah.
Just because you carry the baby, now you can get housing, you can get free health care, you can get food. Men don't have that option.
No, we don't.
So I think women knowing, well, not all women, obviously, just the women who do this, like them having that in their back pocket. Like, all right, if all shit fails, all I gotta do is get pregnant.
Exactly.
If I get pregnant, I got a place to live, I got a warm bed, I got food, I got health care. Men, we don't have that. Exactly. It's like either get out here, get a goddamn job, sell drugs, do something, but nobody's gonna give you shit. Nobody gives men anything.
Right.
So
that's true. There isn't a men's clinic
no.
for you to go live in when you fall on hard times.
No, they tell you to man up.
Yeah,
but that's what they tell you.
In every facet of life, no matter what, you got a drug addiction, figure it out. You got a mental issue, figure it out.
Exactly.
And the irony
you're
is,
a man. Be a man. Man up and take care of your family.
But then when you want to be a man, nobody want to give you that right or that privilege.
And that's what's crazy, because you know what? This comes from all the way back to when men were men, back to the Pilgrim days, when the men took care of the home and the woman took care of the kids. The irony is we still got to take care of the home, but now women don't want to play. They're not even trying to sound like a chauvinist. They don't want to play the woman position. They want it all. They want to be the man, plus they want to tell the man he need to be the man, plus get the benefits from being, even if they ain't fully a woman. And we still don't have our, you know what I'm saying, our thing to follow. We still got to be the man no matter what.
Exactly.
That's true.
But women's roles have changed. They don't have that role anymore.
Then they want our role to change. But then you got these fake ass feminists out here, because real feminism or whatnot is trying to make things equal, which is actually what we talking about. So you don't have to be you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist, for those out there that don't know.
Exactly. There are plenty of men feminists.
But most people that claim to be feminists are really women that want
benefit
them to be 80% and a man to be 20%.
Role
they
reverse.
want it to be true role reversal. Now
Yeah.
I'm with you if you want to make the shit equal, because it should be.
Yeah.
And listen, I like that you said that, because that's a great segue into another thing that I want to talk about as far as this goes. And it's great. What you're talking about is, equal.
Right.
Now, I brought this up on my social media. When I do bring it up on my social media, get a lot of people in their feelings. I could fucking care less about any of that. Grow the fuck up. If you can't have an adult conversation, hit that goddamn X and ride on up out of here. But what we mean by equal is, okay, now a woman, like say now a man and a woman, if you do not want to have a child pre conception, we both can use birth control. We could use condoms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if we both use birth control and condoms, very small chance that anybody's getting pregnant. We both have that right, correct?
Correct.
I could use condoms. You could use birth control.
That's correct.
That's equal.
Right.
All right. Now, what happens post conception? Post conception is a woman can still do adoption. She can do not birth control. She could do an abortion. So, or she could just give the baby up. She could go to the hospital and say she don't want the baby. And listen, these are 3 different options a woman has after she gets pregnant, where she can still say, you know what, I'm not ready for a child. And just for the sake of saying it, I am pro-choice. I think that women should have a choice. I think that men should have a choice. But as it stands, preconception, both men and women have a choice. But after a woman get pregnant, a woman still has 9 months, a little bit over 9 months, to decide, you know what, I don't think I'm ready for this in my life. I want to finish school and stuff first. As for men,
so that test, so as you see that yes on that
positive,
piece, you better not say a goddamn
you're
thing.
done. You
better not even say what you gonna do.
Say, you know what? As a man, I don't think I'm really at that point in my life where I could be a father. I actually want to not be in this child's life. No. Because what society tells a man is, nah, nigga, man up. It's time for you to man up. Now, a woman, she can make the decision for her life, and she can even go as far as to kill the baby in order to make that decision for her life. A man doesn't get that, and I don't feel like that's fair. I don't feel like that's equal.
It's not.
If we're 50-50 partners in this, and we're 50-50 partners with creating this child, why can you still decide to back out of it, but I can't decide to back out of it?
You know what they're going to say? Because it's their body.
Right, yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
What y'all think about that? What you think?
I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Okay,
I'm pro-choice. I feel like, but like I said, I mean, to extend off of that, I do feel like it should be both people. I mean, it's not like, the sad part is, as a man, if you say to a woman, okay, even if you logically say to him, I mean, it just sounds savage to be like, you better get rid of that, or I don't want this.
Get rid of it.
Let's say y'all both was young, and y'all both knew y'all lives, y'all wasn't in a good place to have a kid, it was a mistake, and you brought logic to the table, and you raised pros and cons, you know, it's not gonna never sound good coming from a man, because we look like the monsters. We look like we just trying to look out for ourselves. Yeah, we look like we
telling you just kill it. And I think that has a lot to do with, and y'all ain't gonna like this, but I don't give a shit. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, man. It's a lot of male deadbeats out there.
It is.
It's a lot of them, and I agree with women on that. It's a lot of men out here who don't want to do shit for their kids, and they just pieces of shit. And I
talking
don't.
About men, you said.
Yeah, a lot of men who do that, who just walk away from their kids. And I'll never be somebody who condones that. I don't even fuck with niggas like that.
Exactly.
If it's a dude who don't take care of his kids, we can't even be cool, because I can't respect.
Right. They
you
make
as a
us
man.
look bad.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't respect you as a man. And like, what were you thinking about? I know I saw you was about to say something.
No, go ahead.
I mean, but as far as that goes, you know, if you're having a child and a woman can still decide that she doesn't want to be a parent and she can walk away, that's why you don't see as many woman deadbeats.
That's true.
Because the man deadbeats, they would have did abortions.
Right.
Just like the women had the options to do the abortions. That man who's a deadbeat, who walked away and didn't want anything to do with that kid, if he was a woman, he would have chose abortion, and people would have told him, "That's awesome that you chose that.
It's laws.
You made the right decision for your life. Fuck what everybody else got to think."
Right.
But men don't have that option. So all we can do is, when we don't want it, is walk the fuck away.
And
so we end up being a deadbeat because we don't have the same option. If you give men the same option, it doesn't happen as much.
Shit, there's laws in place that promote women being deadbeats in this type of way.
Exactly.
You know, there are no laws in place to help a man become a deadbeat.
No, exactly. It's like, nigga, man up, do it anyway.
And
we don't tell women, but when we try to tell women to do it anyway, like this law that's passing in Ohio, it's looking like it's going to pass, where they got the heartbeat law, which basically says if the child has a heartbeat in the womb, that you can't abort, and that's around 6 weeks or so, 3 to 6 weeks. And women are in the uproar about it, and I agree they should be, because I'm pro-choice.
Right.
But I mean, ladies, that's been the case for us forever.
Right.
The second you say you're pregnant, we're at your, you know, we're
your
at your
mercy. We have nothing.
We're at your mercy. We're like, all right, babe, I don't want to be a father, and we both didn't want this kid, but now if you want it,
that's a deadbeat on the way.
You're forcing me to be a parent when I don't want to be a parent.
If a guy tell you that, I mean, pretty much he's telling you he's not ready. So as a woman, I mean, why would you want to even put yourself through that type of situation? I mean, I understand, like, you'll have other opportunities to have a kid. Why would you want to be attached to a deadbeat, someone who's going to make your life harder? It's not even a way of giving outs. We're talking about situations where you know you're not ready. Like, you know you're dealing with a piece of shit dude, and he's not the guy you planned on having your kid with. Why settle for that? Because you accident, it's a mistake. People don't want to admit that. They want to say, "Oh, my kid." A lot of people have mistakes. You can correct the mistake before it becomes really a true mistake.
Right.
I feel like it's like again what you said, Leo. It's about being shamed. I feel like people feel like they're gonna be shamed or they're a bad person, but they wouldn't have these options if they didn't.
Right.
It's gonna get to the point where sex, well, you know how people have like sex contracts and shit, like people that's like 50 Shades of Grey, BDSM type shit with safe words. It's almost to the point that every time you have sex with somebody, you're gonna have a contract that states like, okay, if you do get pregnant, because
I'm opting out,
because that's your
right
only,
away.
that's your only way.
That's
your only way as a male to have a choice in said position. You got to take the chick to court and shit, but then you got to hope the court case ain't dragged out too long, because then she gonna end up had the baby, and y'all all fucked up again. Like honestly, I wouldn't really say I'm 100% pro-choice. Like in some, honestly, I don't think when people say that, I don't really think anybody is 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's a lot of gray area.
I feel like it's levels to this shit. You know, sometimes I feel like, okay, no, motherfucker, you need to be forced to raise your child because you on abortion number 6.
Exactly. Right. You using abortion
now, I'm not sitting here saying if you're a chronic. I'm not saying here being a chronic abortion clinic. Like I ain't saying if you got a membership to the abortion clinic. Nah, come on now. I mean, I think they should keep a log of your ass. Maybe put your Social Security in, or you was just here last month. Your ass gonna have to.
Now, Tamika, this is the third one this year.
Maybe it should be a prosecution thing, like or something like if they treated the shit like murder, then I don't think nobody would be getting it. But I just feel like I think a lot of people ain't trying to. Most women, if they do one abortion, they ain't trying to do that shit again. I think it's psychologically damaging for one thing. No woman wants to go
like
through that shit.
Certain people have problems, like in the black community or whatever. I watched Nick Cannon on some interviews. He was going in on Planned Parenthood or whatever because the lady that started that, Margaret, I forgot her last name, but she was into like eugenics and all that racist shit, trying to like sterilize black people so they wouldn't have kids and all that. And now I know they're not doing the same thing as they used to do back in the day, but the concept is still semi the same. It's like they don't directly promote it, but it's like indirect promoting abortions.
See you next year.
You know what I mean? It's like, so it's kind of weird when you realize that it's a certain sect of people that's kind of promoting that way of life.
Like a fucking buddy card and shit for your abortions and shit. Like every time you get an abortion, they
punch a hole in some shit.
You
come back, you get a discount. Right? What the fuck is this? Like I'm not promoting every time you make a mistake run to the abortion clinic, but there are situations where it is needed. I mean, I feel like that's why I say I am pro-choice with the situation.
It's like, all right, back to the thing y'all was saying about life. Okay, like I remember like you had a Facebook status sleep about this recently, and you had somebody on there said that he don't think human life is what he said. It's not a human until the child is outside the womb. I don't agree.
I mean, that's scientifically not true. That's just not true.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to be outside of the womb to be considered a human.
What would
being.
y'all consider
stages?
At what point?
I'm very scientific in nature. Period. I think the second it has a heartbeat that it's a human being. But I'm also pro-choice. I don't think that chicks should be able to get abortions, after like 5 or 6 months, because that's a big ass baby. I'm about to say between
4 or 5 months. It's getting kind of when you can see and actually go get a sonogram and actually see that that's a baby.
If the baby could live, if she had it at that point, that's just too goddamn far.
Why would you? That's just different.
And I feel like you're irresponsible for taking that long to decide if you want an abortion. How does it take you 4 fucking months to decide? Because as a man, I know what the fuck took you so long. You were waiting to see if he was gonna come around and be with your ratchet ass, and he's decided not to. Right. And he's still playing your ass because he's staying with his baby mom, his first baby mom, who he really loved, and he was just knocking you off on the side. So after 4 or 5 months, after him spinning your ass in a circle, then you like, all right, I might as well go ahead and get this abortion because this nigga, he ain't gonna go.
Right, because having a baby equals keeping a man. Exactly. Because that's always worked.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I'm still confused and conflicted, I guess, when I believe that life begins or whatnot, because.
So what's your number? What's your month that you think?
I don't know. I have a number or a month.
You got a month. You ain't gonna have nobody running to the clinic at 8 months.
When you hear that heartbeat, right? We got kids. We done been on ultrasounds and we done heard the heartbeat. You be geeked a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like
depends on the nigga.
It's a real motherfucker right here.
Depends on who it is.
And that's only a few weeks into the deal. So how you gonna be excited about that? But at the same time, I understand people looking at it like, oh, at what point does the soul enter? Like that's a different level of the shit.
The sonogram, it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me until about Right.
Let's keep it scientific.
I mean, it didn't hit me until about 6-7 months. When that stomach started getting big and we start getting closer, that's when I'm like, okay.
What if you show early? Some chicks
I don't
be
care
showing
about
at
that.
2 months,
I mean, that's like a
8
full
weeks.
stomach. That don't matter to me.
me.
I mean,
That's a
I'm
full
just saying, like,
stomach.
I'm not really because and that's not even trying to be funny because I know that those early stages anything can happen. You can lose that baby without any abortion. So
Right.
it might sound shitty. I'm not really attached in those early months. I get more attached after the 6 month and beyond because I know it's getting real. Like it's getting to that point. You know, that's when we picking out names. We starting to see what the sex is gonna be and all that other stuff. A heartbeat is a heartbeat. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be asshole about it, but it does. I don't have that attachment that early because anything can happen within those first few months. Anything.
But I mean, but anything can happen at the 9th month.
But it would hurt more if it was at the 9th month because I'm actually happy. I'm looking forward to that.
So
I know it's going to happen.
So is it all about the life of the child, or is it about how you feel about the shit?
I guess that's a trick question.
I think it.
I care about the child.
I don't know, man. It's a real weird thing
It's
to talk
touchy,
about.
man. It's a touchy subject, but
It's hard to say. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like a woman should be able to get an abortion, and I just would like for men to have the same option. Obviously, we can't abort the baby that's inside of you, but we can sign off on that shit before you have the baby, saying we don't want to be a part of it. At that point, you decide if you want to be a single parent or not. If you want to be a single parent, awesome, you got a fucking kid. It's all yours, and don't come to nobody looking for help. Or, you know, if you decide I don't want to do this by myself, then, you know, go ahead and get an abortion or do adoption or whatever. I just feel like men need an option because the majority of these male deadbeats out here were men who would have chose abortion if they had the option.
Yeah, but
women have the option, so
true.
you don't see as many women deadbeats because all those damn deadbeats in a wastebasket somewhere because they did a goddamn abortion.
Well, but when you say it like that, a lot of women will say, well, you know, that just, you knew you lay down with somebody.
Right. You pulled your dick out, keep your dick in your pants, keep your pussy in your pants.
It's a double standard because a lot of times people ain't laying down, and everybody knows the pros and cons of having sex because by that logic, it's like, okay, well, you shouldn't have sex. I mean, and everybody who says
that's not realistic.
It's not at all. It's not because
realistic.
accidents happen. You can have on a condom anything. And there are even some women who go out to just trap men. I mean, it's just like that. So you can't really sit there and tell somebody.
Man, I had a woman who I had sex with this chick, and then she hit me up literally like a week later talking about I'm pregnant and I'm gonna keep it. Like listen, straight up, that's the message she sent me. It ain't one like, hey, what's up, Sleep? How you doing today?
Ovulating.
It was like, right, that's what you talking about. This was a week ago, but whatever. Cool. She like super pregnant chick. She know right away. So she hit me up like, all right, I'm pregnant and I'm keeping it. There's no way you're gonna talk me out of it, so don't even try. What are we gonna do about this?
What?
I said, I don't know what you're gonna do about this, but don't contact me again until you have the child. Then we'll go and do the blood test, and I'll pay for that, yada yada, and then we can go from there.
Right, I'm booking our tickets to more.
Let me tell you what happened. So I told her that because I'm not gonna play with your ass for 9 months and act like we fucking cool. I didn't even know you like that, but. So she hit me up and said, all right, I'm having a baby. You can't stop me. I said, cool. I'm not going to try to stop you. Hit me up in 9 months when you had a baby. We'll get the blood test. We'll go from there as far as what we'll do. She hit me back up a week later and said, yeah, well, I just decided I didn't want a baby anymore, so I got an abortion. Man. What that told me was basically either she just needed some money because women will do that. Exactly. They'll hit you up and say they're pregnant when they're really not because they know abortions cost like $400 to $500, so they're trying to get $400 to $500. Or she got pregnant by another dude.
You're trying to put it on you.
Got super thirsty and just threw the pussy at me so I could fuck her.
Right.
And so then when I fucked her, then she said that she was pregnant even though we had a condom on. I know condoms aren't 100%, but goddamn, they really close. It is, so she wanted me to be the
right because she like you better.
So when I totally pressed the issue that okay, cool, we'll get a blood test. She instantly ran away at that point. I haven't heard from her since then. Yeah. But you know, like you said, a whole lot of trapping and shit goes on these days as far as either trying to get money or trying to put a kid on a dude who has a career, who has money, who has common sense, because you out here fucking niggas who you know goddamn well don't want you and are not going to take care of your kids.
At least they're going to try to use you emotionally.
Exactly.
And I mean, you ain't going to be none of that because I'll change my number.
Right, and it sounds biased, but I mean, like in today's society, I feel more sorry for the kids and the dads because, I mean, it's a lot of men out here who do want to be fathers, and there are a lot of women don't believe it. There are a lot of dads out here who are better than women as parents. There are. I mean,
carrying a child doesn't make you a good parent. I mean, it's
not even a choice. No, I mean, we don't get that.
I mean, carrying a baby is like. It's like a bodily function, like fucking heartburn or some shit like that. You can just do that. Your body comes like with that, like, you know, like buy a toy, like your fucking batteries included, yeah, fucking ovaries included. Like, you didn't do anything. You didn't have to reach a certain, you know, pinnacle of humanness or fucking, you know, morality or anything in order to carry a baby. Your body just can do it. It doesn't make you a good parent though, just because you carried it. But you didn't die. You just didn't die in birth. So like, because I carried a baby and I made it through it, then obviously that makes me a better parent than the other person.
Do you know how many women out there say, well, you don't have that bond with me, like with the child like me, because I carried it for them? Like, what kind of fucked up shit is that?
Tell that to the millions of women who got abortions. Where was they bond at?
Right.
Where was they bond?
Crazy,
I ain't trying to hear that. That's nonsense.
That's a good point. I think it matters. It matters somewhat, but you know, but not as much as like they make it out to be. They make it seem like it's all everything. You know, that
like they shared the same fucking heart.
You know?
Like,
I mean, in a sense.
No, they didn't.
I mean,
it was two different heartbeats in there. You fed that baby. That's what you did.
I feel them when they say they had that connection like that, but that shit only means
I don't feel them because I never had. I didn't carry the kid. I can't.
I agree, Leo. I feel them when they say that they have, like the women who want to be mothers. Yeah. I feel them when they say that they have that connection because honestly, I don't give a shit about that baby until it's born. Because scientifically, I can't. I have no connection to it. I'm not feeding that baby with my body. I don't feel that baby moving around. There's literally no connection. And women don't understand that a man has. They be like, "How could you just walk away from your baby from the beginning, bitch? Because we ain't got no connection with the baby. I don't even know that thing at all. The bond has to be created with the man. If a woman wants that child and she's happy about being a mom and everything, she's creating that bond every night with that child.
Look at it like
a man.
This.
If I'm not in that child's life from the very beginning of him coming out, there is no bond to speak of. So that's why he can walk away because it's nothing to him.
I got a question. So it's like a statement in a question.
Okay.
So all right. So let's say that bond is great, right? That bond between woman and child is great because they're growing within you the whole time and y'all sharing DNA and blood and food and everything,
shit.
right? Okay, so what does that mean for the women that do carry their kids
then get rid of
still decide to get rid of?
They savage.
Like, are they
Hitler-ish?
Like
savages
ish, Stalin-ish.
or have the kid,
evil.
Or have the kid
like
and then treat it like shit.
If you get up to 4, 5, 6 months and you still say fuck it, suck it out of me with a vacuum,
and that bond is
you're
that
just
great?
not really you're not a good person at all.
Or I can go even further, or actually have the kid and then just treat it like shit for the rest of his life. Like, who does that?
Keep it alive for the benefits.
Right. That's even worse.
Well, you know how like if you ever had a 401k and you got to withdraw some money early, let's say like a hardship loan, you got to sometimes you have to choose what the hardship is and sometimes prove it to them in order to get the money. Okay, maybe something should be put in place to where the people that want the abortion so badly, maybe they have to prove that their life are in these dire states in order for them to allow them to have it. Only reason I say that is because some people just so irresponsible. They don't give a fuck about wearing condoms and none of that, men and women, and they just can't. I don't think it's right to just keep allowing them to do
abortions.
That.
Okay, but listen,
just blindly.
I like that you said that because me and you had a difference of opinion in something related to that. Now we're gonna revisit it.
Okay.
But maybe you've had some growth in this.
We'll change the heart
in this department. Okay. Now I believe that, and this goes for men and women. If a woman has whatever number as a society we all deem to be okay. So say women get 2 abortions, not including rape.
Right.
Not including rape, incest, things like that.
Agreed.
Women get 2 abortions. After those 2 abortions, you lose your right to have a child where they remove your ovaries. Hold on.
Oh.
Or for a man, if you walk out of 2 children's lives, you're behind on child support for so much and you don't see the child, yada, yada. You have totally vacated from those children's life. He get a forced vasectomy where he can't produce life.
That's
I think that there needs to be something there.
Beautiful.
You can't keep just killing fucking kids or just keep walking out of kids' life and doing it over and over. I know niggas with 8, 9 kids and ain't in none of their life.
Exactly.
Like, he shouldn't have the right to have kids anymore. Like, because clearly he don't want them.
So we need to force a
vasectomy on that.
Or do shit like they do in China.
Right, because it's not unheard of. It's other countries
they overpopulated and they don't play around.
So what do you think about that? I know that back to the eugenics thing that you said, it reminded you of that. I remember I had a post about it like last year, and me and you were talking about it on there, and it kind of reminds you of the eugenics and making people sterile and not. Yeah. How do you feel about that now in regards to that?
In regards to this topic and the way you just stated it, I would actually agree because it's not just blindly doing this to people just because these people are these people.
Exactly.
Like you're a woman or you're a man or you're a white man or you're a black man or whatever. Not like that. Now, you having the multiple abortions or you being a male leaving your kids out here wet multiple times, that's you proving that you
don't
give
want
a fuck about
Exactly.
kids. So I don't think it should be a problem at that.
There has to be a
At this
consequence
point, it's
for
like,
this.
Because
That's
what you're telling
Right,
us.
that's what I said.
You're
Yeah,
telling us that
absolutely.
you don't want any parts
Right.
of this parenting life.
Multiple
Now,
times.
as a woman, if you have more than 2 abortions, like really, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Get on birth control.
Right,
This
exactly.
shit ain't hard, man. They got pills. They got a goddamn implant they can put in your arm. They got the fucking ring
Right.
thing they put up in your pussy. They got a million different ways that you can prevent this. And after you've already, basically, let's call it what it is, you killed 2 children that could have been alive and could have been productive members of society. I feel like you don't want kids anymore.
Right.
So let's help you out with that.
Exactly.
Let's remove your ability to have kids. Now you can just get out here and fuck as many dudes without a condom as you want to, and now no future kids have to pay for your mistakes.
See, and other people, like I remember Hannah Nicole, I could be messing up her last name, but she had a post about something similar to this, and she had said something like,
Nicole Hannah.
well, what if, like, you know, the woman is a drug addict or whatever, you wouldn't want her raising a drug baby or whatever. Well, she may be one of those people. If you doing that shit, then maybe, I wish they can, like, put a pause on your shit, you know, like
Put it on
listen,
hold.
when we get in the future, shit is gonna be all the way fucked up.
Right,
It's gonna be
right.
like Demolition Man and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna get a fine every time you cuss. Like, every time you do something wrong, it's gonna be tallied and
Right.
calculated. We on a fast track to that, you know.
Right.
And if it keep going the way it's going, men gonna be choosing to just get vasectomies just so they don't have anything to do with it. And then women gonna be out here wet, and we gonna fuck around and destroy humanity because it ain't gonna be enough kids around this motherfucker to reproduce next generations. Like,
They gonna be-
eventually, men gonna get tired of the abortion thing, as well as being manipulated by the child support system, and just
We've been tired of that.
motherfuckers gonna be taking their
No,
son
eventually,
down there
that's
soon
now.
he turns 16. You know, the same way
Yeah.
people take their girls down to the doctor and get them birth control or whatever. The vasectomies at this point
I'm
are
telling
reversible.
you, dude, the worst thing that's going to happen to society is when they figure out how to do male birth control.
That's the
Wait,
other than the
oh.
vasectomy.
Yeah, because the vasectomy is final.
No. They have reverse
I mean,
vasectomies. I know a guy that got one.
Yeah, that take a lot though. You know what I'm saying? It's like tubes tied. You could get them untied,
Yeah,
but
but it's the
don't
same
nobody-
thing
don't
as
nobody-
but it's
don't
the same
nobody
thing as
do that
abortion.
shit,
It's
you
a
know?
medical
Yeah.
procedure. though.
Exactly,
You
but
know what
a
I'm
lot of women ain't out here getting their tubes untied. It does happen, but I'm just talking like easy shits, like, you know, take a pill, something like that.
Right.
When men are able to easily just stop having kids, that's what's gonna fuck up society.
Boy,
and it shouldn't
reproduction
come
is
to that,
done.
but the child support system makes men want to go that route
Yeah.
because men don't even want to deal with it.
Right.
It's like, all right, if I make a mistake in my life, that could end up fucking my entire life up, like my
Really
entire
can.
life. Could you imagine if, say, your checks are only, and this is for like most Americans, say your checks are only $700 every 2 weeks.
But
That's making what, around $10 to $12 an hour. And that's
them
pretty.
shits down to
and that-
300.
and that's kind of on the high end for
Right.
average, but still, that's a pretty decent amount. 10 to 12. Basically, that shit cuts your money in half.
Yeah.
And women be like, man up, but I'm like, God damn, have a heart. Like, how can he live?
don't care.
How can he even live? He
competition at
can't.
that point.
He could barely afford a $500 apartment at that point. How can he pay a car bill? How can he have a cell phone? Like, they like, just man up then.
It's competition
Just
at that
man
point.
up. But then
Man.
when you tell them to man up and stop getting goddamn abortions, then they like, no.
I know
it's my body.
I know
Like, all right.
I know grown men that are forced to be roommates with other grown men
'Cause they can't
just
afford
because
it.
they can't
Man,
afford to live on
exactly.
their own
It's
because
grown
of
men
child
who
support.
still ain't right from child support because women don't understand. I mean, it's back. I mean, you get back child support, and then there's a lot of guys who on child support. Then after the kid, let's say the kid turned 18, a lot of guys be thinking, oh, he 18. No, say that kid wants to go to college. He ain't even a kid no more. And tacked on some more. And then if you owe some back, he can be a grown ass man our age, and you still getting stroked for child support. The courts do not give no fucks.
No, they don't.
They don't care.
And I
They
know,
don't care.
I
It's a
know couple-
lifetime
like,
thing.
I know a couple of dudes who was on child support, and they say they called down there. They talk to you like you ain't shit. They
That's
talk
because
to
you know why? It's women. It's a whole bunch of women.
Yeah, I
down
know.
there.
It's a- right, it's
And
a whole lot of
and
women
they
who work
sitting
the
back.
goddamn
They sitting back getting
child
weak.
support office. They fucking angry. And
They
mad
don't
as
care who
shit.
you is.
And they talk to you like you ain't shit. They like say this. This is a good example. You're with a woman and y'all break up. The child is 6 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she goes down to get on child support, they give her the option. Do you want to put him on back child support for that 6 years?
And
she
ain't gonna
can.
say no.
That's crazy.
And she can.
And you have no clue.
So y'all been living together for 6 years. Say you've been the breadwinner in the family. You've been letting her ass stay home. You've been letting her stay home while you make all the money. If she leaves you 6 years later, they ask her, well, you want to put him on back child support? Because then we can help you recover funds that you would have had for that 6 years. All she has to say is yes. If she say yes, boom, you already in the hole $10,000.
Yeah, that's it. And then
your life is screwed
right,
up.
And then the
from that
logic
point.
to the woman is, you get back, you go to jail. then what? You ain't getting no money from me. I'm in jail and I can't see the kid.
Right, and you can't file bankruptcy.
Right,
on
and,
that shit.
like bright idea, bitch. You're gonna give your child's father a felony, so now he can't get a good job.
Right.
So I don't understand that logic. Like, you're gonna put this on him, like, well, he gonna pay this money, but if he don't pay the money, then what?
Right.
You still ain't getting no money. And you just gave him a felony.
Exactly.
So in the future, when he does get his shit together, now he can't get a good job.
And then implant
to ever
right.
give you the money.
And then
Stupid.
implant
Just
pity
dumb.
party story of, oh, he's a deadbeat, he ain't doing nothing, to the next man, and the next man like, oh, I feel bad for you, and he raising your kids, and you're a deadbeat when don't nobody know the real story of what really happened. And that happens a lot. It's a lot of guys that ain't really deadbeats that get labeled deadbeats. But, you know, women are supposed to, they're the victims. You know, they always going to be the victims.
Yeah, you get blamed no matter what. Just like if you and your girl break up, everybody naturally going to think you did something wrong no matter what.
Automatic.
Just period.
Automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic.
No matter what. She could have stole all the money out your check,
Don't matter.
saving slip at your best
Don't
friend,
matter.
and cussed out your
It
mom.
don't matter. She did it.
Still getting paid.
Right.
And a lot of dudes, like, they'll walk away. And a lot of women can't understand why. Like, some dudes will just be like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with
Right.
none of it at all. And they'll walk away
And
from
they
their
ain't really
child.
even a kid.
Some women are so bitter and mean, they'll chase men away. Like a dude who would have otherwise been a good parent because you taking all of his money with child support. Then you making him jump through hoops in order to see his fucking kid. Then you just being a bitch to him all the time. A lot of dudes just, they go find another bitch and just go away. Like, fuck it, I don't even want to deal with it. Whatever. It's child support. They gonna take it out my check anyway. Fuck you, fuck that kid, fuck all of that.
Right.
I'm gonna just start a whole other family over here with a decent person. Because women just get so bitter and so mad about it that, you know, they fuck up any future that man could have ever had with the kid, where he'll just say fuck it and walk away. Now, I'm not a type of man that would ever say fuck my child and walk away.
Never.
But some men do that. They just get so fed up with dealing with women like this. They just
Right,
say,
and that's
I don't
the key
want
word.
I don't even want to
You
deal
said
with it at all.
woman, not child.
Exactly.
And women
Exactly.
will use that child as a shield, and they will assume that child is the reason why the man walked away. Man, ain't no sane man who care about his kids really walking away from kids. You are the blocking point that's keeping him. When you have a wall that's so hard to climb to get to something so great, sometimes you get to a point where you're like, I'm just tired.
Right. It's like, what's the
It's
point?
tired.
What's the point in trying?
Right.
Because
And
you
you
know,
brainwashing
she could
them, too.
potentially change at any moment based
Right.
on her feeling what the standard is that you have to meet in order for
Yep.
you to stay in your children's lives.
Yo-yo.
And that's the part that's fucked up too.
This chick Nikki on my social media said, do you honestly think that male birth control would really change things? Man,
Yes.
hold on. She said men want to argue over using condoms. Do you really think that men are really going to be more responsible if they have birth control? Now, I think the issue with what she's saying is she's mistaking a feeling for wanting to have a kid. Men argue about condoms because we can't feel your pussy when we got a condom on.
Right.
We want to be able to feel it. We don't want to take the condom off to get you pregnant. Don't nobody. We don't want to be your fucking baby dad. We just want to feel the fucking vagina.
Exactly.
Right.
You're not a man, so you don't know condoms. You don't feel a goddamn thing. The reason why we want to take the condom off is so we can actually enjoy sex. No man is taking the condom off because he's like, yeah, I can't wait to fucking
Man, I'm about
get
to
on child
bust at
support.
her. I can't wait to have this baby, but it's random.
Yeah, male birth control basically opens it up to where now, yeah, we can just take birth control
either way
and we
it
can
go-
bust in you whenever we want
And either
to.
way to go, look at it like this. Why would you even ask the question if it's going to change anything or not? It's giving the male the choice. Wouldn't you want the man to have a choice over his own
No.
body?
I like
They
how you.
don't.
I like how you peep that.
Just period.
I like how
Just
you
flat
peep
out.
that.
Why would the question even be asked? That's like,
That's like me saying,
why
well,
should women be able to take birth control?
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
what?
Rather it's going to help them or not is kind of irrelevant. The point is they deserve to have the option.
Right. Exactly.
So I see what you're saying. If she
Period.
tried to sneak one in on this little fastball type shit, you know what I'm saying? Caught that shit, you know what I'm saying?
I just like to say a little something here as far as being responsible enough to take it.
Yes.
I wake up every morning and take 4 fucking multivitamins and fucking
So it's nothing.
probiotics
Exactly.
and shit. It'd just be one other
Exactly.
thing. I
It's
do in
another
the
pill.
morning.
You fuck around, take
Exactly.
that one first.
That's definitely number
Shit,
one.
I'm
Take
double
an extra.
dosing.
All
And
right.
before
Say that.
before I come over, I'm taking a double dose.
Doing that before I even take the morning piss.
Some
That's
of these
first on
dudes,
my
drug
mind.
addicts, they fucking around, be crushing the pill down and be
I
snorting.
inject that
Crushing that bitch's lean.
I had that shit going through my motherfucking veins, bro. That be an IV.
That's exactly. Had that shit on tap.
I want them bags next to my bed.
Start the drip.
I'll be fucking Wolverine with that shit in my veins.
Look at work tying
Adamantium. That adamantium,
You
bro.
tying off and shit at work. They think you shooting up heroin.
Nah, bro,
and
this
nah.
my birth control.
It's the BC.
This is not.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Fucking stock and go through the roof if they ever came up with
I
some
have a
shit like
motherfucking
that.
timer going off like Will Smith on I Am Legend when it was time to go dark. Let me go take my motherfucking birth control real quick. Shit about to get real out here tonight.
But the whole gist of the whole conversation, it just come down to things being equal. You know, when it come down to the child support thing, men just want some sort of ability to help control our side of things, other than simply wearing a condom itself. Because women, y'all have female condoms. I don't see y'all out here buying them shits at a high rate.
Right.
So don't just bring up the condom thing.
A lot of them ain't even taking birth control, and that's a pill.
It's double sided. Now,
mean,
if you don't want to take pills, I get it. It fuck up your hormones sometimes.
Get the
But you
implant,
can easily wear a female condom, just like the man can wear.
Well, I mean, the whole topic is, I mean, even with abortion, after birth, we have no say so, no rights in anything. Only thing we get to do is we get the option to fuck you or not. After that, if you get pregnant, it's over. I mean, we don't have an option to say we want to keep the kid and a girl don't want to keep the kid. We don't even get to say so with that. You know, we have no say so from the moment that stick changes complexion.
And I think that's morally like fucking evil to begin with, like where a woman could be pregnant and a man wholeheartedly wants that child, and she could still go kill it, and a lot of women do.
Can't say shit.
Like, this is my body, but I mean it's half of my child too.
Look at
But
this.
they don't-
I put that child inside of you, and they don't even have to ask the dude for permission.
Look
They
at
could just go and just kill the kid.
We didn't see celebrities that are rich, rich, wealthy,
Right.
famous, intelligent, whatever. They have kids by some groupie or whatever, you know, and the groupie can be all over the internet, known whore, and all this, that, and the third. As soon as she get pregnant, jackpot. You know, the dude still got to fight an arm and a leg just to get shared custody, and rarely would he even get sole custody. And that's even with all the money in the world.
Yep.
So even with all the money in the world, you're talking about a school district. Okay, now you're going to the best schools in the country. Fuck the county.
Right.
You know, or the city.
And
You're
he
going to
still
the-
can't get it.
And it still can't get it. It's still a hard fight. Chris Brown, crazy as hell. You know, he barely got custody.
Shit, we
of
could
his
use
kid,
50
and-
Cent.
Same thing with
We could use
D-Wade.
shit, we could use 50
Yeah, look
Cent.
at Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, baby mama, ex-wife, or whatever, is basically crazy.
Yeah.
She out there sitting on the fucking sidewalk and shit like she homeless, just trying to get attention because they broke up. You know, and it took him a minute to get custody of his
She
kid.
had to fuck up all kinds of ways in
Yeah.
order for him to get his kids.
Yeah, it had to be proven like on camera by the media that she was crazy and unstable in order for them to believe him.
Right.
And that's sad that you even got to you got to have that level of proof.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that for everybody, before you start, you know, saying shit like, you know, hey, you know, everything needs to be equal, you know, everybody deserves 50-50, you need to really think about what that means. Because if you're telling men that, you know, they shouldn't have a right as far as post-conception, then that's not 50-50, because a woman has 3 different options, a man has none.
0.
Exactly, and we both have options before conception, but we're talking post-conception, you know, in this thing. And also that, you know, women don't necessarily make the best parent just because you carried the baby, which is the whole point in this podcast for the day. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. What you got to say to him, Leo, before we get on up out of here?
No, that's really just it, man. We just need to think about more equality. You know, some women scream it, you know, fake feminists, as I stated earlier, scream it. But true feminism is equal rights for women alongside of men. So if y'all really about that, then let's be about that.
Exactly.
And that's all I have to say
So
about that.
what you think, our guest host, Chris Caine? What you thinking, man?
I think I've said my piece. I really can't say much more. I mean, it's not equal. I mean, I wish it was, but there's some great guys out there, ladies. Just think about that next time you want to call a guy a deadbeat, and give a guy a chance. If it's a guy out there that you feel like you've had a kid with and he's not what you think he may be, give him an option.
I do have one last thing for the women out there, because this don't apply to all of them, but I think most women have a friend that this might apply to. You know, I'm not the type of friend that I'm not going to be an enabler. If I feel like you fucking up, I'm going to speak on that. Even if you choose not to change it or not, I'm going to let you know that I think you fucking up.
Right.
Now, one thing I do notice, women, they don't really want to like tell each other the bad things about each other. That's why it's hard for women sometimes to be friends, because they are forced to reinforce negative, false bullshit to each other. So just be more honest with your friends. You know, you might save their child some trouble. Don't look at it as her personally. Just think about the kids. That's all it's about. It's all about the kids.
And that's all we saying. What you got to say, our illustrious producer?
Pending current litigation, I'm not allowed to say anything. But no, I would like to say I do agree with everything you guys have said. You hit it right on the fucking The head of the nail.
The shit needs to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Make this shit fair. You know what I'm saying? That's my quarterback.
My teammate.
Quarterback. That's my quarterback. It's really unfair. All right, we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Make sure that y'all tune in to the podcast. Go to iTunes and put in Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast. Shit I Shouldn't Say. You'll see we already have 4 up there, and you can subscribe, and that'll send all of them to your phone. If you're on iPhone, obviously iTunes. If you got a bum-ass Android, Stitcher. Get the Stitcher app or whatever that is.
You can also go to iTunes.com. You can go to Stitcher.com. If you can't find it, you can go to our Instagram.
Yep.
Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast, or you can find us on Facebook. Just email us or give us a message if you have a hard time finding it. We'll fucking directly send your ass the link.
We got you.
And regardless of whatever platform you choose to listen to us on, review us. Whether
Yes,
it's iTunes,
Indeed. Give us
Stitcher,
reviews,
whatever.
and don't
Review
forget to
us.
go to kyhbb.com as well, and you can find us there.
So, yeah, if you go to kyhbb.com, you'll see our show there, and also they got a bunch of other really dope podcasts. So if you're a podcast person, or if you got long rides in the morning or at night, go to kyhbb.com and check out some really good, funny shit.
And this is the Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast.